Hey, what's happening, everybody? Bryce back here again with another video on this fantastic Wednesday. I hope you guys are all doing okay with the quarantine going on across the country, or if you're watching from across the world, I hope you're all living happy and healthy lives as well. So, decided to change it up a little bit this week, given everything that's going on in the world. I wanted to kind of share a story that, I don't know, like, might provide a little bit of inspiration, might provide a few ideas, might spark something. I don't know, I just felt like I really wanted to share this and that would provide value to people. So, this video is dedicated to pretty much my weight loss journey. At one point, I was 50 pounds heavier than I am right now, and this is basically my journey and any tips and tricks I tried along the way to get from weighing at my highest at 205 to what I weigh today, which is about like 155. But the numbers aren't important. What the real power comes in is the amount in between from where you start to where you finish and to where you're happy and where you're healthy. So, like I said, I don't know why I'm sharing this. I just felt inspired and I felt like this would provide a lot of value. So here it goes. So, um, we'll take this back to when I was a senior in high school. So when I was a senior in high school, I was just finishing up my athletic career. I played 2 or 3 sports. I think when I was done, I played volleyball and baseball. And that was also the year where I got an extended lunch period because I only had to go to school for like 6 hours rather than a conventional 8. So what did I do with those 2 extra hours? Well, I went over to my friend's house and we basically just ate a big lunch every day. And needless to say, I went from weighing 192 to 205, which brings us to phase one. Hopefully that's me. That was me at my highest. I was at 205, and that kicked off phase one, which was basically educate and try everything. So I remember now my senior year ended. I was 205. I was going into my freshman year in college for the first time. So I mean, the freshman 15, I think it's a misconception. It all depends on how you take it. But that helped kind of get me to that 205. So freshman year of college, I remember going into our gym one day. We called it the Rec, and I checked and I weighed 205. That's by far the highest I'd ever been in my entire life. I was always kind of a chubby kid, but I kind of thinned out as I got older. But now I was back to being a little bit heavier again. But like I said, nothing wrong with that. It's just something that I just didn't like. I just wanted to be a little bit healthier, a little bit fitter. So what did I kind of do to kind of combat it? So every day after that, I believe for a month or so after, I started actually going to the Rec and using not only their track but also their fitness equipment as well, just to kind of get into a little bit better shape. I ran a mile every night. I used the machines, whatever I felt like doing. I believe they had one for biceps, um, quadriceps. You can see how educated I am on the muscle groups. And that's kind of another disclaimer I'm going to trail off for a second. I'm not like a dietitian or a health what do you call it, medical professional. So I'm just sharing with you guys my story. Don't take this as medical professional advice. If you need advice, talk to a registered dietitian or other medical professional. But anyways, I digress. So basically, I just started exercising anytime I found time. The good benefit with me is that I really enjoyed playing sports throughout my entire life. So I was able to play intramurals, do things that way, meet up with friends, exercise a little bit, do some cardio, etc., and so forth. Well, the problem is I never really stuck with it, and right after I'd get done working out at night, I'd go eat at like midnight. So right before I went to bed, and I'd go get like a sub or something, and then eat it right before bed, which is not something you want to do because the later you eat in bed, the harder your body has digesting it. Because apparently, when you're laying down, your body digests food in a different way than when you're standing. Excuse me. So not a very good start to this weight loss journey at all. So obviously it didn't work. Well, fast forward actually to the second semester in the springtime. I had become really good friends with somebody who actually just transferred from another school, and he was actually on my high school volleyball team, believe it or not. And he had introduced me to this new diet that apparently helped with Alzheimer's. Apparently, I didn't know that, but apparently it does. And it was something that's gotten really popular. It's the ketogenic diet, and he was trying it out for the first time. And I said, you know what? I've gotten kind of bigger than what I wanted to be, so I mean, why not just try this out, get experimental, learn about it, etc., so forth, and to me, the best way to learn is by doing. So, I basically went off onto this ketogenic diet with my friends, and it was possible even though I was eating, college cafeteria food at the time, so there's options. You just gotta get creative a little bit. So that's what I did. So for 3 weeks, him and I, he didn't eat any carbs. That's, for those of you who don't know what a ketogenic diet is, something they call it the keto diet, and that's basically you eat no carbs at all. And basically what it does is once you cut out the carbs out of your body gets into the state where you start burning fat for fuel rather than carbohydrates for fuel. So just a little bit of education on that. If you don't know what that is, YouTube it a little bit more, Google it. You'll learn a lot that way. But anyways, I digress. So I did this successfully with him for about 3 weeks to a month. The details a little fuzzy because it's been a while. But I lost a ton of weight actually. I went from weighing 205 to 190, so I lost like 15 pounds in a month, which was a ton. And at that point, it's like, okay, 15 pounds of water weight, that's lowly likely, so I definitely burned some fat in there. So that was a really good start to this journey. However, it kind of sucked, because if you guys don't know anything about the keto diet, when you're on it, you really can't eat much. The main things I ate were leaves, basically in a salad, cheese, and meat. No sauce, no ketchup. So there goes a lot of, you're just eating dry meat, basically. So it took a lot of discipline. It was really effective for a really, short period of time. But if you do it for a long period of time, there's other drawbacks, benefits. Like I said, do some Googling, talk to a dietitian if you want to know more. I don't want to pretend I know everything about keto when I really only tried it for a month. So, but anyways, so now that brought me back down to 190. That's where I was at when I was leaving for college. So a lot of good progress. Well, I didn't stick with it because my breath started to smell really badly. Your body starts to run toxins at that point, and when you're breathing, the person next to you, they start to plug their nose, and you're like, oh, sorry, man, I'm on a keto diet, and they look at you, and they're like, what? But let's keep going. So I'm at 190 now. I went from 205 down to 190 with keto. Well, then that summer, it was the summer of my freshman year, I moved back home for the summer, as I did for every summer, and I actually got a job with our city as they called it a playground leader, basically, where I would basically teach kids games, and they'd get occupied for a few hours, whatever. Well, that summer I actually ran around a ton. Obviously, when you're chasing around children with a whole ton of energy all summer long, if they're just coming out of summer school or whatever, they got me running around a lot. So by the time summer was over, I lost another 10 pounds. So basically, going into my sophomore year of college, I went from being 205 to 180. I lost 25 pounds in about a year. And that time in between, the two major events happened. Just to recap, were keto, a little bit of cardio, a little bit of other exercise, and a lot more exercise, which was, I was lucky enough it was at my job, so I was plugging my phone real quick. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I went from 205 down to 180 from freshman to sophomore year. So then that kind of kicks off phase 2 now, and this is where we're at. 180 pounds at the beginning of my sophomore year, and this is what I kicked off what I call like the tool phase. So my sophomore year, I moved off campus. I didn't have as easy access to food. I had to make my own food at home, which is really rewarding. It's a lot of fun. Make your own food at home, guys. It's a lot cheaper, and you can get a lot more out of it. But anyway, so I pretty much cut my weight at the level it was at. I didn't eat as intensely. I just pretty much tried to be a little bit more mindful, and I didn't really do anything special pretty much all of my sophomore year. I just kind of kept everything consistent, so I lost no weight my sophomore year. But then that summer, so the summer of my sophomore year, about 9 months later, one of my friends, the same one where I'd go to eat lunch at their house, she actually recommended this new app that came out. Under Armour actually released it. If you guys don't know what it is, it's called MyFitnessPal. And what it is it's a tool tracker where you can keep track of what you're eating every day. They make it really easy. They're not sponsoring this video or anything, so don't worry about that. I just, like I said, this is me speaking from the heart here, just from what I've experienced. But so she introduced me to that app, and I'm like, okay, I'm still trying to get. I still wasn't happy with the way I looked, with the way I felt with my body. So I'm like, you know what? I'll add on another tool. I'll use this tool, MyFitnessPal, to see if I can keep myself disciplined and maybe lose a few more pounds. And it was really nice because I could keep track of what I was eating and be a little bit even more mindful than I had been previously. Now, I use that in conjunction with more exercise. So over the summers, I love playing sports because it's nice out, and when you're from the Midwest, you only get 3 months out of the year to really go outside and enjoy warm weather. So I played a ton of softball, I played a ton of soccer. Whenever I could get outside, I pretty much did. So I combined the tool of MyFitnessPal. I kept track of what I was eating a lot, and I also played a ton of other sports. And to even bolster that even more, whenever I played these sports, especially in the summer when it's hot out, I would wear really thick sweatpants because you sweat a little bit more, lose a little bit more water weight, you burn more calories. So that's just another small tip I want to add in there. Layers while you're exercising, it makes a bit of a difference. So something to keep in mind. Excuse me. So now I pretty much stayed really focused and disciplined with MyFitnessPal. I kept track of everything I ate. I used a barcode scanner to really hunker down, and pretty much anything that had a barcode I pretty much scanned so I could figure out how many calories I was eating. And the one thing I found out with that was I had consistently, like every day for 6 months, because I kept track for 6 months straight, I had eaten fewer calories than what the recommended daily amount was. So like for me personally, and when you do the app, they'll adjust it based on your lifestyle. They said I was allowed about 2,100 calories a day. That's about what my body needed. But I kept track, really disciplined, every day for about 6 months, and I think even longer too. My streak was at one point for 6 months to a year. And I consumed less than 2,000 calories, and believe it or not, it actually helped a ton. Fast forward to about a year, so like the summer of my junior year, and I was down to about 165, 170. So it helped a lot. I mean, you'd be amazed at what just keeping track of your food and being committed to it can really do for you. A lot of it was for me in here mentally, so it helped a lot. But during that year period, I had actually been doing some research because obviously I'd been trying for a while to lose a little bit more weight. So I ran across a video that Terry Crews actually made on Facebook, and he talked about something he's been doing for years to keep him in shape, which is intermittent fasting. If you guys don't know what that is, intermittent fasting is essentially you restrict the number of hours you eat in a day to like an 8-hour period. So for example, Terry Crews would say he eats all of his calories for the day between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. Now I want to be clear, you don't eat just an unlimited number of calories between that time period. You eat your recommended daily intake from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. That way you can really eat whatever you want. However, you're still not going over your caloric amount. And that way, apparently it teaches your body to also work a little bit harder to burn calories. It's basically conditioning it for something. Like I said, if you want to know more about it, highly recommend doing some Googling. A lot of good education out there about it, especially on YouTube as well. Which, you're already on YouTube anyway, so just go ahead and search for it. But anyway, so yeah, I combined intermittent fasting essentially, and I still do it to this day. I basically adjusted it to my lifestyle, and I absolutely love it. And I combined it with MyFitnessPal, and I did that for over a year, and I still do those things today. So it's about going on 2-3 years actually, and I lost another. Let's see, I was wondering, by the time my senior year of college came around, I was down to 155 pounds. So I went from my freshman year of college of being 205 down to finishing school and being at 155, which I'm proud to say I'm still at today. And guys, like I said, the main things, just to kind of recap this timeline from beginning to end, I went from, not really being too mindful of what I ate. I played a lot of sports. I got a little bit older, and I was at 205. To get from 205 to phase 2 at 180, I did a little bit of exercising, just educating myself on different ways I could lose weight, healthfully that is. I tried out keto for a little while, and what was the third thing I mentioned? Why am I blanking on this? Oh yeah, and I just exercised a lot. I did a ton of cardio, and that brought me down to 180. Then after that, what really propelled my level was combining that with intermittent fasting, a lot of sports, wear pants when you're exercising. I'm telling you, in the hot sun, you'll burn a ton of calories and you'll sweat a ton. It'll be nasty, your butt will sweat, but it's worth it. And then I combine it with MyFitnessPal and intermittent fasting. Sorry if I said that twice already. And that brought me to where I'm at today, which for me that was my target weight. That's where I wanted to be at. And like I said, this is all subjective. You can really do this whenever you want, and I didn't really have to pay money for it. The app was free, by the way, if you guys are curious about the app was totally free unless you upgrade to another version. You don't need the upgraded version, trust me. Um, yeah, so that pretty much brought me where I'm at today, and I'm happy to say that I've been able to maintain it, and my lifestyle has adjusted to it. I'm a lot more mindful when I eat. I still only eat between. For me, I go a little bit of extreme just because that's how I've adjusted my lifestyle. I eat from like 4:30 to like 10:30, depending on the day. Sometimes even 5:30 to 11:30. It really depends. But yeah, I've basically maintained that lifestyle in order to keep my weight at a place where I like it. And the most important thing is that I'm happy. I'm really happy with where I'm at. It was probably one of the most um, it was probably one of the biggest achievements I've achieved in my life. So it was just fantastic. It was great to say that I've done it and I did it and I'm able to maintain it. But the big thing I want to stress too is not every day is going to be easy. Not every day is going to be perfect. You can still, go out and have fun with your friends. You can still go out to eat. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't judge yourself if you don't have a good day. The important thing is you're sticking with it over time. You're tracking yourself, and that you're happy. Be happy. That is the most important thing I want to stress. Because if you're not happy, there's no point. That it takes out all the fun out of it. You just have to be happy, and don't like what Gary Vaynerchuk always stresses. If you guys don't know who that is, check him out on YouTube. You'll be blown away. Gary Vaynerchuk or Gary V. If you Google that, you'll find him a lot. But like he says, never judge yourself for taking a day off or having a cheat day or whatever. Today, just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown, during the week I do my intermittent fasting mostly, so Monday through Friday. But then on the weekends, I basically have cheat weekends. I'll drink coffee with a ton of cream and sugar in it. That's my guilty pleasure. I love Dunkin' Donuts. That's a whole nother story. But I don't judge myself for it, and I'm a lot happier for it. I can still enjoy the things I like. I can still go out to eat with my friends. Don't stop living your life. Just be happy. Do what you gotta do, and you'll be all good to go. So, that about does it for the video, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope that this helps for any of you who are on your own journey. If you're on a journey, put it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Or if you guys have any tips for me about how to maintain the way I'm at, or if you guys think I'm nuts, let me know too. I'm always down for that discussion. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate any perspective you guys have. If you like what you're seeing and you want to see more of my videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button, or the like button, or the dislike button. No worries at all. Whatever you want to do, totally fine with me. I just appreciate your guys' eyes, ears, and I hope you guys stay happy, healthy, and I'll see you next time. So, thanks, guys.